And at one point, my doctor told me that I should see a psychologist or shrink, you know. And I was like, why would I need a shrink? I'm not crazy, you know. Like everyone reacts. But he was right. I realized that later that he was right. But because I was in bed for a very long time, out of energy, couldn't move, I realized that if nothing is wrong with my physical body except candida, then it must be psychological. So I start reading books, and as most of us does, I start with scientist book like psychologists, doctors, and they all have some kind of treatments that you have to go there to have that treatment, you know, like. But because I was in a bed and I felt really bad when I had to get out, I couldn't go to any of those treatments. So I was trying to find some book that will tell me what to do with what I have. What can I do by myself? Because I'm not able to go. And at that time, I didn't have money to pay the doctors to come to my home. My parents were retired and I didn't have any income, and it was all like it had to be. Now I know it had to be that way in order for me to learn what I learned after that. Then I first knowledge I had about what is going on with me, and first realizations that I had was from books like Rika Zarai. I don't know the name of the book, but I will give you in some other video or article, I will give you her remedies and recipes. But then I was listening to radio, and I listened. There was some radio show on Serbian radio with two English DJs. One of them was a pretty spiritual person who got himself cured from some kind of blood cancer. And his words, whatever he wouldn't say, he wouldn't talk about himself that much, about his illness or anything, but he from anything he said, there was something very familiar to me, and very true. Like whatever he says, it's true. It sounds true to me. So I started calling radio show, talking to him and asking him for some things. He gave me some good advices. Like one time I asked him which book he would recommend, and he told me, I'm not going to recommend you any book because the book that you need will come to you. I cannot tell you uh, the books that I read, because those are the books uh, that I need for my development. So don't worry about the books, but books will come. And he was right. Anyway, the other DJ, also English, when I was talking to him, he told me that he is ex-alcoholic and drug abuser, and that he has a book that he thinks that will help me a lot. And I was like desperate, like, sure, yes, give me, you know. And he gave me a book, best book for me at that point. And since that day on, that is the book that I always come back to, and that is the book that I think opened the path for any other book to come to me, and all the other books that after that came to my life were talking about the same thing. But the big difference between this book and the other books was uh, that this book was what I was looking for. It explained to me how this life works, but not just that, because in when I was reading psychological books, I was able to find myself in any definition of any state. You know how when you read uh, about, I don't know, insomnia, then you find that you have those symptoms. Then you read about, I don't know, social phobia. Oh, I have those symptoms. So you can find yourself in any diagnosis if you read those books. But no one tells you how to overcome that in those, so to say, scientists' book. But this book gave me explanations and gave me something uh, like a recipe, what I should do about it.